Good morning, class. How are you? How are you today? I am fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. Now, this weekend we talked a little bit about the United Kingdom, about compasses, and also how to write a letter. How to write a letter in England. And so today I want to tell you how to write a letter to the Queen. How to write a letter to the Queen of England. Remember, England is a country and the capital of England is London. And the Queen is the Queen of England. So this is how you write a letter to the Queen. First of all, you need to take an envelope. Envelope, the thing that you put your letter in. On your envelope, you need to write the name of the person you are sending the letter to, or the recipient. So in this case, we are sending a letter to the Queen. So we need to write Her Majesty the Queen. Her Majesty the Queen. So the Majesty the Queen. Beneath the name, we need to write normally the house number or all together. In this case, because the Queen lives in the palace, because she's the Queen, she doesn't have a house number and she doesn't have a to put the house name, and the name of the house is Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace. So the name is Her Majesty the Queen and her house name is Buckingham Palace. Now, the town or city name. Town or city name. In England, when we only have a few houses together, we call this a village. Village. Much, much bigger is a city. So in Georgia, Tbilisi is a city. It is a city. It's also the capital of Georgia. Tbilisi is the capital of the country, Georgia. So, the Queen lives in the city of London. So we write London. London. Normally, we also, England, remember, is divided up into different counties, and normally this ends in shire, but we say it shire. So Oxfordshire, where I am from, Berkshire, Lancashire, because it's not really a county, it's just the capital and it's in the city, and it's the only place in Britain that doesn't have a county. So we don't need to write anything here. Normally we would. After the county or the shire, we need to write the postcode, because if we don't write the postcode, maybe the postman, when he's looking through the letters, or if it rains, because it rains a lot, and sometimes the address gets covered in water, and maybe he can't see the rest of the address, but see the postcode, then your letter will still get there. So the postcode is probably the most important part of the letter. So the postcode for the Queen is SWAA. SW, it just means southwest in this case, but sometimes it also is the city name, the first and last letter of the city or the nearest. So where I live in England, my postcode is RG9, and RG stands for Reading. So R from the first letter and G from the end letter. So Reading, RG. And I live in the part of Reading in the district of number 9. So in Tbilisi, different districts as well. So you have like Vera, Vake, it's the same kind of thing really. So on our envelope, we need to write the Queen for name. The city is London, and her postcode is SW1A1AA. And the country that she lives in is the United Kingdom. Remember, United Kingdom. Because if we are sending a letter from another country, we need to make sure, first of all, that it gets to the right country. Otherwise, they won't be able to find London and Buckingham Palace and the Queen. Okay? So just remember that. Now, normally, in England, when I write a letter, I have my envelope, my address on the front, shop or a post office. And normally a stamp has a picture of the Queen's head. And sometimes it says like first, it will get there faster, or second class, which means it will get there a little bit later. And And if I'm sending a letter to another country, like to Georgia from England, then sometimes I need to have a blue sticker which says airmail, airmail. In French we say par avion, par avion. Abroad that it goes by plane and not by ship, so it gets there much faster. Now, you can buy your stamp from the shop and you stick it on the corner of your letter. And we normally stick it on the top right hand corner. So top, maybe you can see the picture here somehow. There we go. So here is my stamp. Here is my stamp. Okay? What else do I need to tell you? The post in England is governed, is looked after, is managed by a company called Royal Mail, and this is the government. So the government, the Royal Mail has been delivering letters since 1516. Since 1516, it's a very delivering letters for people in Britain. You put them in the post box. The postman comes, he opens the post box, he collects them, he takes them to the post office, he sorts through them, and then they send them to where they need to go. And a postman will bring it to your door. You have a little box in your door at your house, and he puts it through the letterbox. And every day in England, 84 million letters are delivered each day, not a year. 84 million letters are delivered every day in England. That's an awful lot of letters. So the Royal Mail does a really good job. Now, you might remember that we speak English in the four countries in the United Kingdom: England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. But also, Wales, they also speak Welsh. And they have the word Royal Mail, and also in Scotland, some places they speak Scottish as well as English, and they have the Royal Mail written in Scottish. What's written, but it looks the same picture as Royal Mail. We have different languages in the United Kingdom. Okay, so I told you a little bit about stamps, and some they really like to collect stamps. They collect them from all around the world, and some stamps, if they're very, very rare, they can be worth money. And people traditionally, children, they like to collect stamps, and they put them into a scrapbook and they collect. When I go to England in November, maybe I'll send you a letter, and if you want your own stamp collection, okay? If you want to. I told you a little bit about the post boxes in England. Sometimes we call them pillar boxes, letter boxes, or post boxes. They are always coloured in red. Coloured in red. So if you see a red box in the street with a hole in it and you wonder what it's for, it's a post box, a pillar box, and it's where we post our letters. And usually once or twice, someone comes along and he empties the post box. Now, we always have a postman or a post lady who brings the letters to the house. Sometimes they do this on foot. They walk and they have a little bag each house in the street and they put the letters through the door. Sometimes they don't like their job very much, especially when it's raining, cold and not very nice. They come on foot. Sometimes you'll see them on a bicycle. There are lots of postmen and post ladies who like to ride their bikes and they deliver the letters. And sometimes they also use a van as well, so they deliver by van. So they always wear a uniform which is blue and red coloured, and normally the vans are red. You will see them all. Now, because we're writing to the Queen, excuse me today, because we're writing to the Queen, there's a special way that you should write to the Queen. And you should take a very plain piece of paper, and in your best handwriting, you need to write on the left hand corner top. You should always write and underneath put the date. So today is the Monday the 10th of October 2011. Underneath that again, normally in a letter you write dear sir or madam, or to whom concern, or something like that, or you put the name if you know the name. But because we're writing to the Queen, there are some different rules. So we need to write dear madam, with a capital M and a comma after madam. And then you write your letter. Because it's the Queen, we have to finish the letter a little bit differently. Normally we say yours faithfully, yours sincerely, or many thanks indeed. But because it's the Queen, we can't do that. We have to write something different, and this is what we have to write. I have the honour to be, madam, servant. Okay? So that's the traditional way to end a letter to the Queen, to Her Majesty the Queen. I have honour to be, comma, madam, Your Majesty's humble and obedient servant. Okay? And it means that you are very happy to be her servant, to be in her kingdom, and you will do what you can to keep her happy. You are her servant. So to be a citizen of her country. So I have the honour to be, madam, and then after that you just need to sign your name. So if you want to, write a letter to the Queen. I will check it for you, make sure it's okay, and then we'll post it, and who knows, I'm sure she'll reply to us. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you in class. Alright, bye bye.